All right, we are live on YouTube and we are about to be live on and we are now live on TikTok. Excellent. Welcome to I'm So Beastly Trivia, episode 11. This episode is on mythology, lore, and fairy tales. Okay, so mythology could be Norse mythology, Greek mythology, Egyptian mythology, anything along those lines. Lore could potentially be fictional stories like books or whatever. And then fairy tales obviously are along those same categories, but they all kind of run together. And so here we go. Like, we have no idea what's going to be asked. I have a list of Yes, I have a list of questions prepared, more than I will be able to ask, since we spin a wheel to determine whether we have 8, 13, or 21 questions, right? Those numbers fall in the Fibonacci sequence. 5 is not enough. 34 is way too many. So we settled on, 8, 13, and 21. And then, of course, we will spin the wheel. We will spin another wheel before each question, or while I'm asking each question, to determine how many points you will either earn or lose, depending on whether you get the question right or wrong. So, spinning the wheel for number of questions. 13. All right. So we're going to have 13 questions today. Okay. And the first question will be worth. This is always so exciting. Oh! All right. Banger out the gate. 89 points. 89 points for question 1. All right. Here we go. Let's get this set up proper. Okay. Question 1 for 89 points. Which hero was dipped into the river Styx as a baby by his mother, making him invulnerable everywhere except for his heel? Okay. And if you know anything about medicine or any mythology, this was also made into a movie, partially. Which hero was dipped into the river Styx as a baby by his mother, making him invulnerable everywhere except for his heel? Okay. This is an interesting character. I absolutely love the movie that he was specified in. Brad Pitt played this character in the movie Troy. A fabulous movie. Really, really good movie. If you have a chance to watch the movie Troy, by all means, go do it. It's super dope. It's ancient Roman times. They're fighting, and Brad Pitt plays Achilles. I had a friend one time that said, if you don't think Brad Pitt's hot, then you should be arrested because that's illegal. So, we're dealing with that. All right, question 1 for 89 points. Which hero was dipped into the river Styx as a baby by his mother, making him invulnerable everywhere except his heel? That would be Achilles. Achilles, your Achilles heel. And we're going to give this a couple likes because I am loving it. 13 likes. There we go. That's on TikTok if you didn't know. I'm liking my own video, my own live. Why not? All right, question 2. Question 2 is going to be worth a measly 5 points. A measly 5 points. We're a lot more organized today, by the way. I'm actually writing down the number of questions I'm asking in relation to the points that they're worth. So, let's see. Okay. Question 2 for 5 points. Who is the jackal-headed god responsible for mummification and ushering souls into the afterlife? What is the jackal-headed jackal-headed god responsible for mummification and ushering souls into the afterlife? If you're watching live, by all means, comment, play along, have a good time. All right. I want to say, oh no, I don't have any connection to this. But this is interesting. Mummification is a fascinating process. It's kind of crazy that they turned mummification from mythology into a super, super creepy thing in like shows and movies. When, I mean, in reality, it's a very seemingly respectful thing. They're trying to preserve these bodies as they cross over into the afterlife. But, mainstream has made a mockery of mummies in so many ways. But it is what it is. All right, question 2 for 5 points. Who is the jackal-headed god responsible for mummification and ushering souls into the afterlife? That would be Anubis. Anubis. If you said Anubis, give yourself 5 points. If you did not say Anubis, then take away 5 points. All right. Oh, no. Did I already exit out of it? Oh, you silly goose. You silly, silly goose. All right, we're going to have to find another spinner wheel. It'll be up here shortly. And boom goes the dynamite. Fabulous. Fabulous. All right, question 3 is going to be worth... all right, 55 points. Question 3 is worth 55 points. Okay. What is the name of the mystical island where King Arthur was taken to recover from his wounds after his final battle? What's up, fam? Oh, we're getting roses. I don't really know what that means. Thank you, Jackson. Thank you, Jackson. I have no clue what these roses are, but they look pretty, so thank you. All right. What is the name of the mystical island where King Arthur was taken to recover from his wounds after his final battle? All right. I don't have many connections to it. I did watch this show called King Arthur. Check that. It was called Merlin. I believe it was on the BBC a while back. Oh, dope fresh. I see. Thank you for that clarification, Jackson. But yeah, I watched this show Merlin, and now, cool. It looks like it gave me 9 toilets. I don't know what that is, but hey, TikTok's a crazy place. But this show Merlin, it was very cool. It was on the BBC. It was lighthearted, but it pretty much brought to life the story of King Arthur in a different way. And also, if you've ever seen the movie Step Brothers, in the movie Step Brothers, he says, "I will ride to you in the mists of blank." And so if you've ever seen that, maybe that'll give you, maybe that'll give it away. Maybe you'll know. All right, but question 3 for 55 points. What is the name of the mystical island where King Arthur was taken to recover from his wounds after his final battle? That would be Avalon. Avalon. I would ride with you into the mists of Avalon. I love the movie Step Brothers. It's, other than that one line, it's super irrelevant to this. But hey, we got a banger of question 4. Question 4 is for 233 points. 233 points. That is the maximum on our wheel. Why? Because Fibonacci sequence. That's why. Oh, yes, this one's cool. Okay, this one's cool. In Norse mythology, what is the name of the bridge made of a rainbow that connects the world of men to the world of gods? Okay. In Norse mythology, what is the name of the bridge made of a rainbow that connects the world of men to the world of gods? This is also something that you would see in the movie Thor. They talk about this in the movie Thor. Or all the movies Thor. Maybe. Definitely the first one. Beyond that, I have no clue. I have no clue beyond that, but What a great movie Thor is. Thor is also one of the reasons why I decided to grow my hair out long and get super jacked. Although I've done one of those things, I still have not gotten super jacked yet. So I've basically just grown out my hair. No worries, no worries. But hey, now we're going to take this brand new year and try to get super jacked so we can finally fulfill our prophecy of being jacked with long hair, and then we can cut our hair and move forward. Okay. In Norse mythology, what is the name of the bridge made of a rainbow that connects the world of men to the world of gods? That would be the Bifrost. Bifrost. Okay. This actually gets destroyed in the movie Thor, and he's having to figure out a way to get back, and excellent film. I highly recommend going and check it out. But yes, question 4, the answer was Bifrost. All right. Now, question 5 is going to be worth 5 points. Okay. Question 5 is worth 5 points. And if you're playing for the first time, mind you, my points have nothing to do with the difficulty of the question. It's totally random. I mean, the hardest question in the world could be 1 point, and, what's the color of an orange could be worth 233. It has absolutely no bearing on the difficulty of the question. So it is what it is. All right, so this right here, I have to ask this question because it connects to one of my favorite movies, my favorite movie series, John Wick. Okay, in Russian folklore, what is the name of the terrifying witch who lives in a hut that stands on giant chicken legs? What is the name of the terrifying witch who lives in a hut that stands on giant chicken legs? All right. And maybe I misunderstand the Comrade Kenny. What's up, dude? Feisty. Maybe I misunderstand the wording in John Wick because this description doesn't necessarily fit it. But to my understanding, it's also known as the Boogeyman. And so John Wick, wow, what a fabulous film John Wick was. The series I have not seen, the ballerina one, I guess the newest one. But 1 through 4, fabulous. I do wish that they had continued on with the 5th movie that they were supposed to do. But, man, John Wick, Keanu Reeves, hardcore. Absolutely epic. All right, so anyway, question 5. According to Russian folklore, what is the name of the terrifying witch who lives in a hut that stands on giant chicken legs? Or also, to my understanding previous to this, the boogeyman in Russian folklore, and that would be Baba Yaga. And this reminds me of John Wick. It might not be exactly like John Wick, but it seems very John Wicky. All right, so Baba Yaga, that is 5 points. So no harm, no foul if you didn't get it right. But if you did, hey, kudos to you. All right, question 6. Question 6. I got a kitty meowing in the background, doing its own little thing. Nice. 55 points for question 6. All right. Ooh, interesting. Welcome, people. Aha. Here we go. So this one is going to be about fairy tales, more specifically fairy tale author. So here we go. For 55 points, question 6. Who wrote the original version of The Little Mermaid in 1837? Who wrote the original version of The Little Mermaid in 1837? Mind you, the original version is not nearly as cheerful as the version that Disney produced. And most of the fairy tales that they produce are not as cheerful in their original version. Yo, 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 what's good, fam? Oh, we got a lot of biscuits on tap. The Beastly Brigade is popping off right now. Woo woo. Sorry to you if you're not listening live. If you're listening after the fact on Spotify or otherwise, you can't see the fun that we're having here. All right. Yes. So question 6, 55 points. Who wrote the original and quite tragic version of The Little Mermaid in 1837? That would be Hans Christian Andersen. Hans Christian Andersen. Sounds like he was a Swedish man, and we're going to look this up because it is intriguing indeed. Oh, he's Denmarkian. He's Danish. He's a Dane. He's a Dane. He's a Dane. He's a Dane. Question 7. Put a smile on your face. It's only 2 points. No way. All right, so question 7. This is roughly halfway through, since we're doing 13, so it's right around there. Okay. So question 7: Who is the feathered serpent, god of wind, air, and learning, according to Aztec mythology? Aztec mythology. Who is the feathered serpent, god of wind, air, and learning? While y'all are doing this, I'm going to take a step away for a quick tick to count up the halfway points total. All right, we are back, and we have a total potential so far of 443 points. Right, we're about halfway through, so not too bad, not too bad. Okay, according to Aztec mythology, who is the feathered serpent, god of wind, air, and learning? Okay, for 2 points, that'd be Quetzalcoatl. Quetzalcoatl is the feathered god. Right, interesting. I've heard stories of it being evil. I've heard stories of it being good. I guess it just depends who you ask. Perception is reality. So, tis what it is. Tis what it is indeed. Okay, we're going to ask some... We're getting into question 8. Ahaha. Okay, here we go. This is a good one. 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 We should know this one. Oh, keep on going, big dog. Keep on going. No. Oh, my goodness. All right, we got 1 point. 1 measly point. 1 measly Ron Weasley. I love Harry Potter references. Fabulous, fabulous series. All right. Anyway, for 1 point, according to Sumerian lore, who is the hero of the world's oldest known epic poem, which details his quest for immortality? Who is the hero, according to Sumerian lore, who is the hero of the world's oldest known epic poem, which details his quest for immortality? Okay. If you would like a hint, I will gladly give you a little shoddy. The title of the poem is the Epic of blank, right? The Epic of blank. The hero is in the title of the poem. right? And actually, in this poem, there's a lot of connections. This predates the Bible by a fair margin, but there are a lot of connections to the Bible and stories, different names, of course, different locations. But, you know, there's a lot of connections in that regard. But there's a lot of connections in all these ancient texts, sacred texts. The stories are the same. They're just written in different ways to accompany the different perspectives of the regions. But that is trivial, but it is not part of this trivia per se. Okay, question. Oh, butterscotch. Question 8. Yes, this was 7. This is 8. Okay, so question 8. According to Sumerian lore, who is the hero of the world's oldest known epic poem, which details his quest for immortality? That would be Gilgamesh. And the title of the poem is The Epic of Gilgamesh. Good stuff there. Fun. Oh, keep going. Okay, not too bad. Question 9 is worth 34 points. So that's going to be 478 in total so far through 9 questions. All right. Thank you to you, those of you playing. If you have answers, by all means, drop them in the comments. Dope fresh. Okay. Let's try to find a good one. I've got 55 questions here, also on the Fibonacci sequence. Yes, that is an important sequence to me. Some of these are random. Okay, but question 9, 34 points. I'll just get on with it. And this one has multiple answers. This one has multiple answers. Okay. According to Mesopotamian lore, who is the goddess of love, beauty, and war, who famously descended into the underworld and had to remove an item of clothing at each of these 7 gates? Okay. According to Mesopotamian lore, who is the goddess of love, beauty, and war, who famously descended into the underworld and had to remove an item of clothing at each of the 7 gates? Okay. I don't really have much to say here. I know Mesopotamia is a very fascinating civilization. They gave us a lot of what we have today. Obviously, what we would currently consider primitive, but the amount of tools and contraptions and systems that they created with far less resources than we have today, I personally would consider them much more intelligent than we are. But that's just me. I think we're intelligent in different ways. How about that? We're just intelligent in different ways. But Mesopotamia is, pretty dope. I teach about it in school sometimes, or I have before. I don't do it all the time because we move on and do different things and whatnot. But tis what it is. You feel me? Tis what it is. Okay. Question 9 for 34 points. According to Mesopotamian lore, who is the goddess of love, beauty, and war, who famously descended into the underworld and had to remove an item of clothing at each of these 7 gates? Well, that would be Inanna or Ishtar. Inanna or Ishtar. All right. Remember, this is the game of consequences, trivia game of consequences. So if you got that question correct, give yourself 34 points. If you got it incorrect, take away 34 points. And yes, your score can be in the negatives. We do not discriminate. Question 10. Oh, Big Daddy, heck yeah. 89 points. Let's go. All right, so that's going to be 577. Yeah. No. 567. Yeah, 567. Okay. So question 10 is worth 89 points. Let's rip it. Let's just rip it. Oh, this is a cool one. Okay. So this question is really cool. All right. So for 89 points, question 10, Greek mythology. What was the name of the giant bronze automaton created to protect the island of Crete? Okay. In Greek mythology, what was the name of the giant bronze automaton created to protect the island of Crete? Last year, I taught robotics in school, and this was one of the creatures, one of the robots that I taught about. And basically, it would circle the island of Crete, and anytime someone would approach, it would like basically start attacking it. It was just this huge automaton, this huge. I mean, it's hundreds of years ago, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of years ago, well before you would ever think any type of, well before you would think any type of robot would exist. I mean, this was ages ago. And so it was, yeah, I mean, basically that was it. It would just roam around. It was this massive statue, roam around, just murking everybody that would approach it, would approach Crete. And it was basically considered one of the first, robots of its kind, at least in theory. So question 10, 89 points. In Greek mythology, what was the name of the giant bronze automaton created to protect the island of Crete? That would be Talos, or Talos, or Talos. Talos. However you pronounce that is up to you. But Talos is the answer to number 10 for 89 points. All right. Question 11. What kind of brainy powers are we going to whip up to this one? I just finished Stranger Things season 1. We're going to whip up 1 point. So plus 1, question 11 equals 568 total. So we got brainy powers and a nosebleed. We got strong mental capacity and a nosebleed. All right, so question 11 for 1 point. Let's see what we're going to find here. Okay. In Greek mythology, what gift did Prometheus steal from the gods to give to humanity? All right. In Greek mythology, what gift did Prometheus steal from the gods to give to humanity? Prometheus, they made a movie about this big dog. I never saw it. I heard it was pretty cool. But, honestly, kudos to him, Prometheus. I'm sure he's connected to other names in other cultural lore about the same type of thing, taken from the gods, given to humanity, that type of thing. But you look like a repeat returner, so kudos to you, whoever is active right now. But yeah, Prometheus, I heard it was a cool movie. I wouldn't mind going to see it. But other than that, I don't really know much about it. But according to Greek mythology, question 11 for 1 point. What gift did Prometheus steal from the gods to give to humanity? All right, that would be fire. So basically, when the cavemen didn't know what it was, they're chilling around, they're freezing, they're eating raw food. Prometheus said, "Hey, I'm going to take this fire and give it to this man in the cave so he can have a warm meal and understand what it's like to taste glory." So that's what he did. And then that's how fire was born in humanity. So, question 12. So we have 5. I don't know why I wrote that. That was stupid. It wasn't stupid. It was just incorrect. All right. So question 12 is going to be worth welcome to whoever just joined us on TikTok. All right. We have, okay, this is not bad. 34 points. All right. So we are going to be at 602 total. So question 12, we are rocking at 602 total for the round. Okay. And here we go. Okay. And I'll ask this. In Roman mythology for 34 points, right? Question 12. In Roman mythology, who are the twin brothers and legendary founders of Rome who were raised by a she-wolf? According to Roman mythology, who are the twin brothers and legendary founders of Rome who were raised by a she-wolf? I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I'm pretty sure these two baddies were sent down a river in a basket and got found by, I guess, a she-wolf and raised, and they did their thing. But yeah, I think that's it. I mean, these two dudes, as babies, survived in handmade baskets, ripping down a river. So I mean, they're obviously pretty strong dudes. They're capable. They are capable indeed. All right. So, according to Roman mythology, who are the twin brothers and legendary founders of Rome who were raised by a she-wolf? That would be Romulus and Remus. Romulus and Remus. All right, we are closing in on our last question. Okay, our last question is going to be worth not a lot. Worth 8. So this is going to equal 610 points is the total for today. A possible 610 points for today. All right. This one, according to Egyptian mythology, who is the god of chaos, storms, and the desert, who murdered his brother Osiris? According to Egyptian mythology, who is the god of chaos, storms, and the desert, who murdered his brother Osiris? Yeah, all of these gods seem to be characters in the Bible. Sounds like this is a different depiction of Cain and Abel. Also a potential connection to Enki and Enlil, the Anunnaki. I don't believe one of them necessarily killed the other, but they did have a heavy dispute. But as far as murder goes, this seems to be connected to that. A lot of stories are told, but it's allegory. They're telling you these different aspects. So take them as lessons, not as historical fact necessarily. But it is what it is. All right, but mythology is dope. Okay. Anyway, in Egyptian mythology, for 8 points to cap off our 610-point round, who is the god of chaos, storms, and the desert, who murdered his brother Osiris? That would be Set. Set. Bump. Set. Spike! Connecting it to volleyball and whatnot. But yeah, okay, that was our round. 13 questions on mythology, lore, and fairy tale. we've had a good time. We've had a really good time. Butter beans. Okay, but yeah, we've had a great time here. Thank you for those of you who joined us live. If you didn't join us live and you're listening after the fact, follow me on YouTube, I'm So Beastly Trivia, or TikTok, I'm So Beastly Trivia. And anytime from now on we record an episode, we will be live on both of those platforms. So if you do want to play live, by all means, hippity hop on over here and find your spot. We would love to have you. We would love to have you. But yeah, of course, the links to the books I've written are beneath. If you want to buy them, buy them. If not, no worries. Who cares? There's also a link to buy me a cup of coffee. If you want to do that, sure thing. If not, of course, no worries, right? Anything helps to keep this going. If not, it doesn't affect me. I'm still making $0 from this, but we're having a good time, so whatever. Also, my email address will be in the description below. If you have any comments, questions, concerns, you want me to do a specific round, by all means, go for gold. I'll do a shout out. Why not? I'll do any type of shout out to my massive thousands of followers and viewers, of course, all of them. I'll shout out every single one of them if they ask me to. But yeah, we're having a good time. We had a good time. That was a good round. Good round of 13 questions on mythology. And, we will catch you next time. Right? Ta-ta, kittens.